And then also, I didn't want to be one of those players who just ran through a whole city of women. You know what I mean? So,
because that is a perception too. Because
for sure,
when you're on the team and you're known as the guy that just has all the ladies, all the women, blah blah blah,
that gets around.
Yeah, that does get around, and that could also, they'll use that against you and just say, the reason why you're playing like this, and this, or we can't give you this contract is because all you do is just be out
We've
here
heard
in the
that
streets.
all you do is focus on the women.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't focus on getting better in the gym. Agents, their job is to put you on a team, but even deeper than that, they want to put you on a team where it works for you, right? So they have to know what kind of game you have, right? I would never fit in a style where it's fast paced, play like the Phoenix Suns, or you know what I mean? Like, I need to be in the system where it's more of a Spurs offense. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to put a player that I know is not a run and gun player or never played in a run and gun system. He won't thrive in it. I don't want to place him there because I don't know if people know or don't know, but overseas contracts are like non-guaranteed, right? So it's like, if you sign somewhere and okay, the season's 7-8 months, but if month 3 you perform poorly, they don't have to sign you. I mean, not sign you, but they don't have to keep you for the remainder of the season. They can switch you out like a pair of gym shoes. So, as opposed to in the NBA, you sign your deal. If you stink, you just go to the end of the bench. You know what I mean? And they'll play somebody else, but you're still going to get paid. You know what I mean? So it's like agent's job is really crucial to put their player in a position to where he's going to thrive. But, I don't know if people know, like 2010 was the year I came out of college. So that season was a lockout for the NBA.
Wow. Yeah, that was a big time. Yeah.
Lockout. So when you think about it, it's like, if the NBA is locked out, nobody's playing. Some players started to opt into playing overseas.
Yes, so that way they can still keep it going and make that check and still be playing ball, stay active, work on their bodies, all those different things. Yeah. So they're taking contracts away from other people.
Thank you. You get it. So it was a domino effect, right? So you have people of high caliber, J.R. Smiths and all that's going overseas and stuff, and they're taking spots from other players who were already there from the prior year before, or who had just missed the NBA, or would have just missed the NBA draft, right? So it's like, all right, cool. That also pushes other people. So that player who played top league France or top league Spain in 2009, he's now playing B League or C League, taking a pay cut and playing with lower level players because the NBA players are taking the bigger contracts. So for me, it was like, to get a job in Spain, I was at the B level.
Take us through that process of signing the contract, you're getting this money, and also the first time you actually step foot on the court for a game,
for an actual game,
and feeling the energy of the crowd and and going through that. What's that about?
So the process, like with signing the contract, like I said, they emailed it over, and I read through it. My agent was like, if you got any, problems or something that stands out, let them know. They wanted my routing and account information because they're going to wire over, my funds monthly to be paid once a month. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you get paid weekly or every 2 weeks. Like, boom, this is your salary. There were bonuses in the contract to where if I was leading scorer in the game, or overseas, they had this new thing for me back then was called a valoration. So it's like how valuable you are to the team. So you have points, rebounds, whatever. Then there's a whole nother column to plus 10 or plus 15, which means like while you were on the court, you were that valuable to us. You didn't get fouled. I mean, you didn't give fouls. You got fouled a lot, things like that. So
even back then, analytics, math, that was a really big deal.
Mattered.
It mattered about who you keep on the court. Was there anything related in personality as far as like, well, shoot, anytime we put this guy on the court, I mean, he's either on social media and they love it, or the fans are cheering his name and they're buying his jersey a lot.
For sure. There was, I had a small fan base. I like to think I'm a likable guy. So I'll never forget. I had one kid, his name was Miguel, and he had his whole entire family would always come. It's like 10 or 15 of them would come to the gym, and like they every time I stepped on the court cheering for me. Oh, Taverius, da, da, da. And it really made me feel loved, like, because the team that we played for was just like, literally before I got there, it was the bottom of the league. And by the time the season was over, we made playoffs, everything, you know what I mean? So I really came and brought them some Chicago flavor, you know what I mean? So brought some toughness to the team, rebounding inside, stuff like that. And that is another reason why they liked me, kept me around, because to be honest, halfway through the season, there was higher level teams that were coming to the games. So like, yo, who's this 6'10" guy that's playing down in the B League? We need to go see what's going on. Like, so they came, and they were even telling my coach, like, yo, we want to buy out his contract. We want to bring him up to us. And, my coach, really at that point in time, like, that's how I really knew it was pro, right? Because for me, I'm like, yo, let me go. They're going to offer me way more money, and it's top league. And the coach was like, nah, we don't even want to entertain their buyout. Like, we're good. We want to keep you. And I'm like, that's not really fair. But then again, like I said, I had Max, who was my translator or whatever. He's like, yo, blood, like, they really like you here. They don't want to see you go. They want to at least see you finish the season. If they were like, for culture reasons too, if you just jump ship and leave, you're going to be known as the guy who just chases the check. So everybody can dangle money in your face and you'll just jump teams. You'll just jump to whatever team pays you the most.
Because that's a real thing too.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people who, if you are, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the music industry in a sense. Like when you're like a young artist and you sign like a 360 deal or you do something, right?
Right.
But now you're starting to glow up and get all this money from all these shows. You got all these #1 hits, and you're just like, I need to renegotiate my contract. I need to know what's going on. What's up? But you're just like, no, you're locked into this, and this, and this is what you're into. So,
or if you think about it, like D Wade, or he took pay cuts when the big three came over. You know what I mean? So, because for him, it was like, if he could have got paid to go anywhere. Free agency, he could have went anywhere.
Well, also, that's the thing that doesn't get discussed because they're able to keep it out of the news, is that, give you the pay cuts, but there's incentives.
True.
And if you reach the incentives,
you'll make your money back.
You'll make the money back that you're ready, or even more.
Yeah.
But
on this level, I don't think those incentives would have mattered.
Yeah, no, I think with what you're talking about, it's all about how the team functions and how they're run, right?
Exactly.
Because these are leagues that are happening. There's just like everything else, like the NBA, you have your board, and you have your commissioners, you have your owners, and people
ticket sales go up,
ticket sales and all this stuff. So
we got to keep you, because you're the reason why our seats are being filled.
And what our issue with as basketball players is that we don't really pay attention to the grand scheme of things as far as how the business is run in general.
Exactly.
We only really care about the basketball part. Yeah. And when you're looking at, well, I need to keep the lights on for 100,000 of people, and I also give you just a portion of this percentage or of the pot. It's a nice percentage. It's a good percentage, but this only works based off of how you play. So I need to see how consistent you are day in and day out, and how you carry yourself, and what kind of person you are, and what this really means to you. Yeah. And them knowing that, it makes complete sense to give you the playbook when you step on the plane.
Exactly.
Because they need to know.
They're trying to make sure that exactly.
Exactly. But at the same time, if you are as a player, it's only fair, right? If you are as a player reaching your value, you're the one maximizing what you're supposed to be doing. And then now you end up becoming big time and garner all this attention. You should also get your portion of the pie because they're benefiting more.
Big time. Yeah.
Huge. And you got to fight for that. They're not going to just give it to you. They're only going to work out whatever they can. So you have every right as a player to go and say, hey, yo, bro, I'm bringing in X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Let's renegotiate. Let's do something. Because right now you are getting this out of me and it's amazing. I'm bringing all these people in the stands. Everybody. I got this fan base. People are spending tickets and money to see me.
I would walk through the city because the team was sponsored by different restaurants. You get like if the restaurant would sponsor you, they say, okay, we'll give your American players free food, right? They get a patch somewhere on either your travel gear or your home, or even on the court or in the stadium, right? So I would go through the city and go eat at the local restaurant that sponsored us. And, hey, Taverius, win or lose. Like, hey, it's me and another player from Jackson, Mississippi, Jeremy Caldwell. Shout out to Jeremy. And Jeremy had already played pro like maybe 1 or 2 years before, but we played there together. And just going through the city, so much love. Like, I couldn't even go to the store even if I just wanted to go get something, deodorant, whatever. Hey, Taverius. You know what I mean? Like, and that I know brought more sales in, more money, more, you know what I mean? So I started to see the business aspect of playing pro ball. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, these people probably would never even go to the games. You know what I mean? In any other time. But we came there and we changed the environment, the culture. We went from the bottom team to the top team, playoffs. So, yeah, it was really nice. My first year was amazing and a culture shock. I walked around the city with Spanish to English dictionary about this thick, and that's what really helped me get through.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, you talked about the life, the culture. What about the ladies? How is that? Now that you're divorced, you can talk about it, bro. How are they treating you over there, man?
So I got married like when I signed my contract, I literally got married like a couple days. She's like, "Oh, you got to marry me before you leave." So
she really loved you, huh? She saw a ticket, right? Is that what it was? She saw a ticket.
Big ticket.
Hey, if someone called you a ticket, it was her, wasn't it?
Definitely her. So she was like, "Yeah, we got to get married before you go." Boom, boom. So, I ended up getting married like a couple days before my contract had even, the ink dried on it. And so when I got there, of course, on our downtime, Max and, because he spoke English, and Jeremy, we'd all go out to like different clubs and stuff like that after games or after practice. And women they love tea. They love tea. There was no issue with the language barrier. It was just like, look, I want you, so, but, I was respectable of my marriage, you know what I mean? So, and then also I didn't want to be one of those players who just ran through a whole city of women. You know what I mean? So,
because that is a perception too, because
for sure,
when you're on the team and you're known as the guy that just has all the ladies, all the women, blah, blah, blah.
That gets around.
Yeah, that does get around. And that could also, they'll use that against you and just say, the reason why you're playing like this, and this, or we can't give you this contract is because all you do is just be out here.
We've heard that all you do is focus on the women.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't focus on getting better in the gym or making adjustments to teams sending double teams at you or whatever. You're more so focused on how many women you can have sex with.
Yeah.
And that wasn't initially that wasn't my focus.
Yeah. I don't think that was your problem.
It was my rookie year. Yeah. But I stayed focused.
But there's also they're aware of what does come with that. So it really is also, again, another test of what you have to be able to get through when you're going through this, because you can be lost in this and you're just like, fuck, all I care about is women out here, and then that's it. All I care about is just the notoriety or being in the streets or whatever. But there's classification. Everybody's watching you because they have
huge magnifying glass.
And everybody has an invested interest in you on top of that. So
for sure,
you also don't want to get caught up in the politics and the stereotypes of that.
Exactly. Never, and because you don't want to be labeled, because you got to also think about, you're playing in the league and other teams that you're playing against, the coaches and stuff like that, they actually talk outside of you know what I mean? Like when the off seasons, they may see each other at a restaurant. Hey, what's going on? Da, 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 da. Hey, you had a really good big man this season. Da, da, da. Did you re-sign him? No, we haven't offered him yet. We were thinking about signing him. Can you tell me about him? It's that small of a commitment. Like the basketball world is it's a very small world. Once you're in it, it's so many people that know, you're like 3 degrees of separation as opposed to 6.
Yeah, and that's why I find the NBA so intriguing, because I feel like the exact same conversations that you're having at the overseas level, at the small level, are the exact same conversations that's even happening at the highest level of the NBA. They just 100%. Have 8, like you said, 6, 8, 9 degrees of separation.
Exactly.
Already.
Exactly.
Because it's just like, what would it be like if Kyrie decided to get traded? And who is really interested in him?
Exactly. Or, they always talk about Rajon Rondo. Oh, his locker room presence. He wasn't really a good teammate and stuff like that, right? And it's like, how did that rumor get out there? Someone passed that, you know what I mean? Along, whether it came from a player to a coach to a GM to, another GM. And they're like, oh, well, maybe we don't want to sign Rondo. Even though he's a veteran, he's won a ring, da-da-da. If his locker room presence isn't, if everybody's saying that it's not good, we don't want that in our locker room.
And it might have been only 1 or 2 people, but everybody else would vouch for him. But it's usually the ones that complain are the ones that are getting weeded out.
True. Very true.
And they're the ones that are trying to do whatever they can to survive.
Exactly.
To say that stuff. But
exactly. But I'm just saying that's how close knit it is and how word gets spread around,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so you were definitely, your name was being mentioned in rooms that you didn't even know people.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
They're talking
but
about
I knew my rookie season, I wanted to keep my name clean, So there were women. We went to clubs and stuff like that. There were women. But I just wrote it out.